¿Qué pasó, everybody? Welcome to SnailMail. SnailMail. This is Friday, June 19th. Oh, it's Juneteenth. Hey, check that out.
It's my anniversary.
Nice. Happy anniversary, Jimmy.
Thank you.
What do you have planned for it?
It's
what did you do today?
Is it? Today's?
Or is it June 12th?
12th.
June, when's Father's Day? Father's Day is June 21st.
Yeah,
I think it's June. Okay, so Juneteenth is next week, so it's June 12th.
Yes.
Never mind. I didn't mean to scare you. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
It's not my actual anniversary. It's my first date anniversary.
Ah, okay.
Which half of the reason we celebrate or we keep track of it is because it's Juneteenth. It just happened to fall on that day. So.
Nice.
If it was probably a random day, I would never remember it. But because it's on Juneteenth, I remember it.
I don't know what our first date was.
Yeah.
We've just come to accept it as March 21st because we realized that we started dating somewhere near the end of March. We're not sure when, but we tried to coincide our wedding date with the end of March. So it's like, our first date's on March 21st, the same as our wedding date.
Yeah.
Now. So we just have this agreement now.
My thought is once you get married, you have your anniversary date and your first date
Yeah.
is washed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At that, but apparently the assistant didn't have the same. We weren't on the same page there.
When's the first time you swiped right on your spouse? Let's keep track of that anniversary.
Yeah,
day.
right. You know that story, don't you? Yeah. Okay. If anybody ever sees me out on the trail, they need to ask me about. It was not Plenty of Fish. It was Bumble.
Yeah.
Bumble. And I finally just changed her name out of my phone from being no.
Oh, really? Is it?
I changed her profile photo from AB, from assistant Bumble to an actual photo of her finally.
Oh, gotcha.
But she's
the
still
name is still assistant Bumble
in my phone.
That's amazing.
She did make me go through the phone and eliminate all the POFs or eHarmony or any of the other dating app ones or any of the other Bumbles on there. So I did remove like 20, 30,000 people out of my.
Nice. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. My number's really high.
Yeah. Good job. Anyways, I met my wife on Tinder, so it's, that's just how society is working at the moment.
Yep.
Anyways, we're here to do snail mail.
Yeah, let's find out. This is sort of like Tinder.
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, you guys decided to swipe right and call on us. Yep. And,
I see Wreck-It Rob calling and swipe left.
And
to the next
exactly.
One. So we got,
and we unfortunately have to answer. It's sort of like Bumble, where like you gave up and now we have to respond.
That's fair. All right. So first up is Wreck-It Rob.
All right, perfect.
Who's calling himself Kerin in this voicemail. So I'm excited to hear what Wreck-It Rob has to rant about this time.
Hi, my name is Kerin. This message is for that guy, Uncle Weirdo, or whatever his name is. That guy, he needs to understand that i5 was designed for me, and you guys get to use it. So I get to turn whatever the hell I want to, and you gotta get out of my way. Fuck, I can't. Shit. I drive a semi for a living. That shit happens to me every day. I put people in the grass. I can't get over. You better slow down. Next. By the way, this is Wreck-It Rob, if you didn't know. Tyler, you are 100% wrong. If that rear end that you have is a Sterling 1025, it was the Lord's pattern. I'm sure you've already heard enough shit for this, but I haven't told you yet. That is the 8-on-65 rear end. And your front end is a Super Duty front end, which is an 8-on-170 lug pattern. So at some point, somebody moved, changed, re-drilled, did whatever to make sure that your lug patterns match. I personally would get rid of that 1025, find yourself another Sterling 1050. That way you have matching front and rear end, and you can get it any parts out of any wrecking yard or whatever. Next one, Richard from Atlanta. Call me. You don't have to post that lightning. Let's talk. I've wanted one for years. We don't even have to ship it to California. It can be taken from Atlanta to Augusta, Georgia, and dropped off at United Rentals. Let's talk. Message me. Ask these guys for my phone number. Whatever. Let's talk. And you should probably keep the Jeep if that was your wife's first Jeep. Just talking about Jeeps irritates these two, so I'm totally okay with that. You should keep the Jeep and find a way to just put it somewhere and use it when you can. I have a total of 19 vehicles. 15 of them run, and probably, I don't know, 17 of them are projects. I think my wife's car is the only one that's not a project. Anyway, talk to you guys later. I'm out.
All right, where do we start off with
dissect this a little?
Yeah. First comments was towards Uncle Weirdo.
Yeah, was it Uncle Weirdo that talked about merging onto the freeway?
I think it was originally, yeah. And it was kind of said a similar thing as like, I've got my blinker on, I'm giving you a courtesy, I'm coming over, slow down or you're getting run off. Like I can only take so much of people going by and not letting me over and before I'm just coming over. So yeah. Next one was the rear axle under Fiona is a 10.25.
Okay.
Not a Sterling 1050.
Yes.
Which is correct. I just learned and figured this out. I don't want to say Jason mentioned it when he was going through the axle and doing the crush sleeve eliminator on it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to follow exactly what he was saying because he was like, man, this is like a hodgepodge kind of thing. It's a 10.25 with a something like that. And I needed to use a 9-inch crush sleeve eliminator because it fit in there and other, he kind of went on and talked about a bunch of different things. I didn't follow him exactly. Last time I was just over at Jason's this late last week and we talked about it and he goes, yeah, you have the 10.25 ring gear. What I didn't know is that the 10.25 is, I believe, is that the 99 to 04?
Yeah.
Or is it before that? Because I did not realize that it's an 8-on 6.5 lug pattern. Mine is definitely an 8-on 170 lug pattern right now. So somebody re-drilled it and redid the wheel mount surface for the 8-on 170 lug pattern instead of the 8-on 6.5. But it is a spindle rear axle, which is whatever. I'd rather have the unit bearings the way Kermit's set up. So I hadn't necessarily considered finding a 10.5 Sterling and putting that in instead.
It's a bit of work.
Not too bad. I mean, we'd have to reset up the link brackets and the shock mounts, but if I get the 10.5 Sterling, it wouldn't be shaved.
Correct.
That would be another downside. I don't think I would take the time to do a shave kit on it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm just going to keep the axle. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with the 10.25. I haven't heard of any big issues with the 10.25. It just needs to not have a crush sleeve on it. And I'd rather have unit bearings, but I can live with spindles.
Yeah.
I just have to carry around an extra spindle nut to get those spindles off.
Right. And maybe you need to carry around the part that is drilled out.
Maybe the wheel mount surface part. Yeah. Maybe. I think it's highly unlikely you're going to break that part.
Right. That you could reuse it fairly easily.
I think so. I think if you're going to break something on that rear axle, it's going to be an axle shaft or a third member differential.
Sure.
I just the likelihood of breaking the wheel mount surface itself is super low.
Yeah.
You're going to crack a wheel and have a lot of other destruction before I think you break one of those.
Yeah. Well then.
So, yeah, if anybody else knows something I don't about why the 1025 is a terrible axle, let me know, because I do have to go through and rebuild the rear end, the rear differential, and put a different locker in it and everything. So I'm going to be spending $1,500, $2,000 on this. And if it makes sense, just do a whole new fucking different axle at the same time. I would love to hear people's reasoning on it.
Sure. Sure. Definitely. Was there another thing on there?
Let's see.
Richard, get in contact with Wreck-It Rob.
Yep, about the lightning and getting rid of the lightning. So
if Richard reach out to us on Instagram or something quicker than SnailMail.
I think they're both on Discord.
And you guys are both on Discord. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I've already told Wreck-It Rob that Richard's on Discord.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to get in contact with each other, Richard, reach out to us.
There you go. That was the end of Wreck-It Rob's. So thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Next up is Nick from Montana.
Oh, cool.
All right.
It's Nick from Montana.
Yeah, here we go.
What's up, you fruity little ferrets? Nick, I came up with something funny. I figured it made me laugh. So, on the whole mental health subject, you don't always need a fucking therapist either. Very rarely do I have something where I go, you know who would have some great insight on this? That fucking liberal white lady. And that's not the case. So don't be afraid to have some fellowship and hang out with your buddies and you get to each other. All right. Love you, buddy. See you later.
Cool. Yeah, I think that I mentioned it when we recorded with John from Linkswell earlier. He's been posting a lot of posts and reels this month about mental health, Men's Mental Health Month, right? It's a mental health awareness month for men. And just being able to, hang out and talk with your buddies and be like, dude, everything all good? And just have that conversation. I think it's super healthy for dudes to do that. And I don't think we do enough of it as males in this society. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just talking to the assistant about some of that, where actually men lack friends.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
It's a thing that it's just men don't have, like, they have work acquaintances, but they don't have very many friends.
Yeah.
And the assistant was saying that because it was men's mental health month and something came up and they were talking about it. And she was like, I don't need to worry about you. I was like, I got lots of friends.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, and friends, and with friends comes conversations and just making sure everybody's okay and checking in and, just being another dude and an ear for people to vent to or listen to. And reach out to somebody, make sure they're all right.
Yep, I agree. So mental health awareness, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is June. Everybody reach out to your homies.
Yeah, the other 11 months of the year is the women's health mental months.
Exactly. All right, next up is Bob.
Okay.
He's driving across the country.
Sweet.
Here we go.
Hey guys, F you Bob here.
F you Bob.
Driving across the country, or at least a couple of states, to go to Missouri and pick up a set of Rubicon Jeep axles and a 4-to-1 transfer case for a JKU. But I'm listening, catching up on some old episodes. Heard you talking about the Formosas, and thought I'd tell you about the Penash, which is a wheat or hemp beer with Sunkist or Fanta in it. You should try it. It's pretty good. I'd say Toyota suck, but I'm in a Tundra, so I better not, or it might get mad at me and die. Talk to you guys later.
Tundras don't die, Bob. They live forever. They're the 22 RE of the half-ton world.
Yeah. What did he call it? A Panache?
A Panache. And it's a week or half of a beer with Sunkist or Fanta in it.
And that's pretty much...
It's pretty much a Formosa.
Yeah.
But instead of Sunny D, you're using a soda.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sunkiss. Yeah.
Sunkist is a soda. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a... Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, it's like anything with a light beer, throwing another flavor in there just you kind of just get this carbonated, fermented flavor of whatever you're adding.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Shandy's over in Germany. It's like, here's a beer and we're adding lemon juice into it, orange juice into it, lemonade, grapefruit juice, all these different things get added into their hefts and lighter lagers.
Yeah.
And they're just Shandy's. It's just a mixture of the beer and a juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it. Let's see what other kind of beers and juices we could mix.
Let's, that sounds like a fun challenge.
Right. All right. Next up is FU Bob again.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hey guys, FU Bob again. Driving down the road, made a stop, got my normal road trip breakfast, which is a couple of sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Made me wonder what other people do for if they got a routine when they road trip and travel. I know mine is the McGriddles, unless I'm where there's Mavericks, and then I like a breakfast burrito and a cup of coffee early in the morning. All right, let's hear what other people like to get when they travel. So
this would be a great conversation on Discord.
Yeah, that would definitely be.
Yeah. I definitely have a routine. If I'm leaving to go up the mountains, depending on what time of day it is, if I have to leave Sacramento, my house, like 4:30 a.m., like this last trip I did, then I'll wait until I get up either to the Georgetown Wharton's market or Fresh Prawn Chevron.
Yeah.
And get breakfast burrito, a big coffee, and a couple sandwiches for the day, right?
Yes.
If I'm leaving later in the day, past like 6 a.m., then I'll stop at the Starbucks right down the road for me and get a Trenta sweet cream cold brew, and 2 sausage cheddar sandwiches, sausage sandwiches, and then head up the hill and kind of snack on the sandwiches throughout the day.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I don't think I have too much of a routine on my end, but one thing that I do enjoy is it seems like whenever you stop at a gas station, a lot of gas stations just have random different things. And so I like going into a gas station and finding a candy bar that I haven't had in a long time, or some weird, corn nut flavor, or some sort of small snacky thing that I could snack on and eat before the next gas stop. And so it's like a lot of times it's a pastry that I've never seen, and I'm like, oh, let's try that. That looks interesting, whatever it is. So I always like finding the weird thing and just trying it.
There's a lot of weird supplements at gas stations.
Oh yeah. Not
okay, you don't try those?
Not those.
Okay.
Food.
Okay, gotcha.
And then usually I'll pick up a water or some sort of flavored water of some sort and continue on.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What's everybody else's routines out there? Some fun ones out there. I don't know if there's like, what do you do on a road trip? So, FU Bob called back again.
Okay.
Here we go.
hey guys, FU Bob. Still catching up on episodes while I drive. For the lemonade and Coors Light, when I was in college, my entire floor, the guys always got together to watch movies every Saturday night. And we just mix up a concoction. It was Nat Ice, Country Time lemonade, and vodka. I'm using the Country Time powder. So, might be something you want to try if you like that little more lemon. I'd add a little lemon juice to it. Straight lemon juice, give it a little more lemony tart punch. All right. Drink up. Talk to you later.
Pink panty droppers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Or the
12 pack of Coors Light, a fifth of vodka, and the pink Country Time lemonade powder. Yep. Mix it all together, and that makes pink panty droppers.
Yep, they're great. That's a great, because I did like the Coors Light and lemonade. Mm-hmm. I just wish it was a little stronger on the lemonade. So that makes a lot of sense, adding in the Country Time lemonade powder, or lemon juice to it or something. So.
Yep. One of my friends that was the pink panty droppers was their celebration wedding drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to make some of that for my grandmother's 80th, 90th. 90th? I think it's her 90th
Dang.
birthday party. Yeah, this year in September.
Super
Just
easy.
show up with it. What is this, Tyler?
Yeah.
Pink panty droppers
You
for
show
Nana's
up-
90th.
Show up with a case, a small suitcase of Coors Light or a light beer and a handle of vodka and country. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm going to make us a drink.
That's funny. All right. We have a text message.
Okay.
April 25th. Hey, DOT Travis here. I'm way late, so someone may have already given you an answer. I didn't want to waste time with 30-second voicemail, so I figured I'd just send a text. When it comes to locomotives, horsepower and torque are not really reported because they don't really matter if you can't actually translate those forces to the rails. Since the only way to do that is the steel wheels on steel rails, weight really plays a big part. Not enough and the wheels just spin, too much and you are just carrying around a bunch of extra dead weight. So they came up with a tractive effort, which takes weight and power into account as a more standardized measurement of the power of a locomotive. But to answer your question about Big Boy, by the calculations, it produces a max of 383,562.5 pound-feet of torque. Stay safe and later.
Wow.
That was amazing. That might be one of my favorite text messages we've ever gotten.
How much torque? 13?
383,000.
383,000.
562.5.
That's a little bit of torque.
That's just a little bit.
That's
the thing weighs
300
1.2 million pounds. It needs a ton of torque.
That's 383,000 Toyota pickups.
Pretty much right. It can outpull 382,000 Toyota pickups.
Yeah.
That's funny. Thank you, DOT Travis. Nobody has answered that question yet. So I'm very happy that you were able to send that over and get us the
clarify.
info.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay. Kevin from Texas texted us on April 30th and said the link to the fire extinguisher discount is not working. So maybe we need to look into that. I don't know. Hopefully he reached out a different way.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is voicemail from Alex at Botches Off-Road. Here we go.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Tyler. It's Alex from Botches Off-Road Podcast. I just realized I hadn't called in a while. Life's been crazy, so I haven't really been keeping up with podcasts or my own podcast. But I want to say, by the time you get to this, you'll have already gone to TrailHeroX. But I'm so excited to see you guys on TrailHeroX. Can't wait for it. So, yeah. Really don't know why I called in. I had like a whole thing I wanted to talk about in my head, and I forgot about it as soon as I heard Tyler talking. So, yeah, I guess keep calling, and if I remember, I'll call in later. All right, bye.
I have that effect on people.
Yeah. Did he call in later?
He did a few days later.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just continue on down the line. Well, thanks for calling.
Thanks, buddy.
We were excited too. It was definitely fun, and we have a few ideas possibly for a watch party.
Yep. All right. Next up is Jeff Morgan from Oregon.
Cool.
Here we go.
It's Jeff from Oregon. Just calling to give my remarks on Tyler's last update on his Forerunner and my experience with Eastern European / Russian people. My last company I worked with had an R in the name. We used to call it Russian. That's what the R stood for, was Russian. We had about 150 people that were Eastern European and Russian, and they were commingling with about 150 Americans. And I can just tell you culturally, there are huge differences on how they work. We ended up having to, just by chance, we ended up segregating that group. They had their own bosses and management they answered up through that were also Eastern European and Russian, and it like went well for everyone. Like they just culturally, they're just different. You would say, "Hey, Vlad, what you're telling me isn't true," and they'd say, "No, it good. I tell you good." And you're like, no, man, I'm telling you it's not good. That's why we're having this conversation. And they would like argue with you. And it was like just very bullheaded, stubborn kind of thoughts. But anyways, the other thing is 3-link bracket tearing off. I have welded up, I don't know how many fucking track bar mounts and 3-link mounts off of link suspensions on the trail, like a lot. It's always track bar and JKs, and it's always 3-link brackets on Toyotas because they weld them to sheet metal housings and then they tear apart. So on like my latest build, the 3-link bracket, I gusseted it back on the frame 12 inches. I have these long gussets that taper back on the frame to like just spread the load out on the frame after I plated the frame, because I've seen so many tear out on the frame. And then gear guide. Finding a good gear guide is like impossible. My gear guide is like 83 years old and has bladder cancer now. So I just bought all the tools. I'm going to start setting up my own gears, even though it may sound like from my calls that I set up my own gears. I'm going to start doing it myself because there's no one around me that I trust. So I figure I might as well fuck it up myself. And Land Rovers still suck.
There you go. Definitely. I think there's a culture barrier there a little bit. But I still have not told the general public. I have not announced on the podcast what actually happened. A few people have reached out to me asking me, and I sent them pictures and showed them what happened to the 3-link bracket on Fiona and why it fell off, ripped off of the axle. And I'm still waiting for this whole saga to finish up and complete with Stellar Built before I decide if I'm gonna just put out that information to the public. If you want to know, Jeff, I thought I sent Jeff some pictures, but Jeff, reach out to me on Discord or whatever else, and I'll send you some pictures of what happened. If it was just the weld failing and ripping off, I wouldn't be where I'm at, because I get it. That stuff kind of happens. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you have a proper weld and everything like that. It was definitely a different ish, similar but different issue.
Yeah, different situation.
Different situation. The gears, I really enjoy setting up gears. I think it's a fun little puzzle to solve.
Okay.
I think all the tools to do a quote unquote normal gear set, at least a Toyota gear set, right?
Sure.
With the caps, the bearing caps on there that you change the backlash by twisting the bearings rather than putting in shims. I haven't done a Dana gear set before. So I don't know if there's any extra tools there. You might need like what is that called?
Pinchy grabby thing?
No, the spreader, the case spreader, to get the carrier bearing mounts spread in order to get the,
I don't know,
carrier in and out. Anyways, but I actually really enjoy doing gears. I just don't have the time to do gears, unfortunately. If I had more time, I would love to sit down and do my own gears, because I think it's fun to do. You definitely fuck some up the first couple times, but once you start getting the hang of it and learn the little tricks, it's not that bad of a job to do if you have the right tools. It's very dependent on having the right tools, though, and then knowing how to solve to get a good pattern when you're not getting a good pattern. And how to play and manipulate the different variables to make sure you're getting a good pattern on your gear set. So I find it fun. I just don't have the time. And
it sounds like Jeff's a smart enough guy that he will have the right tools and do the right thing. It's just a matter of small amount of patience for tweaking here and tweaking there to get the proper pattern that you want.
Exactly.
And like, I have knowledge on how to do it, and I've worked with people to do it, but still to this day, I'm like, I don't want to touch them. Like, it's just, that's one thing that I'm willing to spend a few hundred, almost $1,000, depending on what you're getting done, to have it done correct the first time instead of me buying multiple sets of gears.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for calling in, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. Good to hear from you.
We got next up is Alex from Botches. He called back.
Okay. Finally remembered.
You remembered 3 days later. So
sounds good.
Here we go.
Hey, Jimmy, hey, Tyler. It's Alex from Botches Off-Road. I remember what I'm calling about this time. I didn't forget while I was listening to Tyler talk. So I'm calling about the guy, I don't remember what SnailMail it was, rooftop tent versus trailer or something along those lines. Rooftop tents are fine, but I would say check out a swag. You get a lot of the benefits of a rooftop tent where, you can keep your bedding in it. It's quick setup. You just unroll it, and pop in your poles and you're done. The big benefit to a swag is it's on the ground. I mean, it doesn't tie your truck up. You put it down. It's a base camp. Boom, you're done. Or, it does set up and take down quick. So if you are overlanding where you're at a new spot all the time, it's not an issue to tear it down and set it up. But yeah, to whoever that listener was that was asking about rooftop tents or trailers, let me complicate it by recommending a swag. So catch you guys later.
Perfect. Nice. It was funny. Actually, one of the Botches Off-Road's previous podcasts, either 2 or 3 ago now, I think, they dove down the rabbit hole on swags.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big time. And they were talking about swags and like swags on cots that are like the cot is built into the swag and all these things. And I'm getting the sense that a few of them are a little bigger boys. And they were talking about how they wanted like extra wide swags. And that 23.0 makes one, but they don't import it into America.
Oh.
And so I wrote Alex and I was like, hey, you're talking about this really big swag from Australia from 23.0. And he's like, yeah, I wish we could get it. I've actually been talking to them. Maybe we can get a few imported, blah, blah, blah. I was like, we got pretty good contacts with people in Australia. If you want to, worry about the import fees or any of that and have somebody ship it to you and you just pay for shipping and the price of the product in Australian dollars, we can probably connect you with the right people. He's like, oh, that'd be awesome. So nice. Actually, I sent him Charles Lockett's Instagram account and I sent Charles Locke his Instagram account. And I told Charles, like, this guy might be contacting you about swags. And Charles was like, yeah, man, we can help out with that. No problem. So
Australians love their swags.
Yeah. So that's, we'll see if anything becomes of that, but that was pretty fun.
My only gripe with swags is I want my clothes in my tent with me. I want a little bit more space in my tent, and I want to stand up in my tent. That's my only main issue with swags. I want to be able to stand up in my tent.
You can stand up in a swag. You just got to stand the swag up too.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah. That was actually even my rooftop tent. When there's 2 people up there, it's pretty much no room for bags. Just because it's a small rooftop tent. Yeah. And we leave our bags down in the truck and then we grab the clothes for tomorrow.
When you go to bed.
And when we're going to bed and we bring them up with us.
All right. I can see that.
And a slight benefit of that is I usually throw them down by my feet. And so they're not freezing cold when I go to put my clothes on in the morning. They're already they're warmer because they've been in the bed for a while.
A little smelly.
Yeah, maybe. But we're camping. Nobody goes around sniffing.
I do. I sniff everybody.
You will now.
Jimmy, your shirt smells like your feet.
Yeah. I usually put nice new socks on before bed too. I put on one pair of socks for bed usually if I'm out camping and it's cold.
I will every night. I'll put on a pair of socks fresh at bedtime and then wear that pair the next day.
Yeah.
And then cycle them out at nighttime. So, all right. Next up is last one.
Let's do one more. Let's get to 10.
Perfect. We got today. Alex called back.
Okay.
From Botches Off-Road. Here we go to finish up today's snail mail.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Tyler. It's Alex from Botches Off-Road. Twice in one day you're getting to hear from me. I actually just got off the phone with Jimmy because I typed in SnailTrail into my phone to call the call-in show. And I ended up calling Jimmy instead. Yeah, so I've been really thinking about rooftop tents a lot lately. So I bought a truck, a Power Stroke, and I wanted a slide, like a Lance basically, but I just can't find one that's cheap enough that isn't garbage. Because I'm saying cheap sliding campers are like $800, but they're all roached and rotted. So what I ended up doing is I bought a topper, just a fiberglass topper. And I'm going to reinforce that with some steel on the inside and then bolt a rooftop tent to the top and cut the floor out of the rooftop tent and out of the roof of the topper, and then obviously water seal it. And I'm basically going to build like a mini, like a go fast camper basically, but cheaply. So we'll see how it works. Yeah, I've always kind of been against rooftop tents because on my wheeling rig, I don't really want the extra weight up high. I know they've gotten lighter now, but when I was really getting into wheeling was like 2016, 2017 time. And back then, rooftop tents were heavy as hell. And that kind of set my expectation to them. Plus, the fact that you got to tear it down every time you want to move the truck, that's always been a turn off to me. But if it's for my tow rig, you know, I tow into the campsite, pop the tent up, unload the truck, and now we can go wheel and do whatever we want. So I think rooftop tents are really cool. You just got to find the use case where they work, and I don't think they work in most use cases for that matter. Yeah, so I hope that I'm not overwhelming you with calls. I've called twice. I listened to like 8 episodes today, so I guess that's part of why I'm calling so much. But you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you later.
How do you have that much time in the day to listen to 8 of our episodes?
It's probably 8 snail mails.
Snail mails. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, because otherwise that's like over 8 hours of content.
That's like 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours of content.
But yeah, I think, you know, there's a use case for any of it, and a proper use case. And some points they're not beneficial or not the best, and some they work out well. Like a Lance camper is fantastic if you flatbed tow your vehicle somewhere, because then you still have a living situation in the back of your truck, and you have the trailer and the rig, and the housing situation isn't on your off-road vehicle.
Yep.
And then you, Alex, I know you're probably going off-roading, and if you go out like overlanding or rock landing or whatever, snow landing, whatever you do out there, you have your swag for while you're out on your trip, you know, and who knows, like some people like motorhomes in a trailer, and some people don't care about the tow rig that much at all and just have a tent on everything. So yeah, I think it's what works well for you in your situation, and run with it.
Agreed. My big issue with rooftop tents, I love the idea of them. I just don't want to pack them up every time I want to go use my vehicle. So that's my big issue. And I very rarely ever go camping where I'm not using the vehicle.
Sure.
Like in a day to go play or go do something. Right. So that's my only issue with rooftop tents. Like my only issue with swags is that I want to stand up in a tent. Yeah, I really enjoy the Lance. The Lance makes life so easy out camping when you're doing kind of a base camp setup where you can get in with the tow vehicle. But if you can't, you gotta. I'm a big fan of gazelles right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. For sure. I'm also curious to hear how this rooftop tent experiment of yours goes. We'll see. Keep us informed. When we were talking on the phone, when you accidentally called me instead of the hotline, it sounds like an interesting idea. So keep us informed and in the loop, and keep everybody there. I think you're also on the Discord, so you should start a thread under the users' rigs or whatever, and
about the build on it.
About your build on it, and share.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that turns out too. So, cool. That does it for today. And this week for all the podcast episodes we got going on. Everybody have a fun, safe weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday with a really cool interview. Some really neat stuff going on with this company, and some fun moves they're making in the industry. So we'll see you guys there. Don't forget to give us a call if you have any feedback on the show. And then, lots of stuff always going on over here. So
absolutely. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.